All right, so the first thing I want to talk about is holds, man, right? So when short range holds, and then we're going to start moving back, so you're going to start seeing your holds. The three things that matter when engaging any target, pistol shooters, is what? What should I consider when I engage my target? The guys that took my pistol. The size to the target, the distance to the target, and the shooter's ability, right? Some of you guys can't even group 3 rounds on a fucking, a dime, right? When I say a dime, is that shot group. You guys can't even do that. Some of you guys can't. So you have to know your own individual abilities, guys, right? So if you realize, okay, I'm not that accurate at this range, then you need to record that today, right? You need to write it down, and you need to revisit it and make yourself better at that range. So right now we are what, 5 on in, right? So on a carbine, you need to train 5 on in, because especially police officers, if you make entry into a room, isn't that 5 on in? So let's just say we have to do a low percentage shot. You have a hostage situation going on, or you have a mother trying to kill their kid, right? Whatever the situation where you have to do a low percentage shot to neutralize that threat. If you don't understand your holds, how can you fucking make that shot? And I want to ask you guys this, and there's no right or wrong, I'm just curious. We're all police officers here, and you guys are carrying carbines. Why are we not zeroed? Why is your rifle not even zeroed? I'm not talking for everybody, but I would say 90% of you guys, your rifle's not even zeroed, man. Why is that? Okay, that's mindset, it's what it is, right? It's mindset of complacency is what it is. It takes 1 second, a millisecond to take a life. I lost a friend in a firefight one time. I was on a wall, and I was engaging, and my gun was low, so I ducked behind cover, and I called out to my teammate, and he was down. Just a second ago, he was up. You understand this? Life is like that. So if you're a police officer and you swear to protect and serve, then you need to have the weapons and tools that's going to allow you to do that. This rifle is going to give you that medium range power that you need. You got the short range power with the pistols. Okay, so I'm asking you guys, look, change your mindset here. All right, if your gun's not zero and this is your livelihood, man, we're behind the power curve. That's mindset. All right. So 5 on in, we agree, is room space, right? So what I usually like to do is I like to study my weapon, right? This is building data on your gun. So the first target I want you to hit is point of aim. Point of aim 1. Understand? You see the numbers? Point of aim 1, you're going to impact around here. You're going to take that distance, right? And you're going to start holding. So if you want to impact here, your point of aim is obviously here now. Okay, so, and then we're going to start moving into the 2-inch, and then you're going to start moving into the 1-inch dots, 1-inch blocks. Okay, and you're going to study your holds. You're going to study your holds. When we're firing a rifle, let's talk about firing position standing. So you have the low ready, right? So the low ready. We understand this? The low ready? So what's the advantages of the low ready? What's the advantages of the low ready?
Quicker target acquisition.
Look at where it is already. It's in a shooting position already, right? It's already loaded in my shoulder pocket. All I do is just bring it up to my eye line. Okay? Bring it up to my eye line. All right? What I found out was through the years, that's what we did. And there's a time and place for it. There's a time and place for every type of presentation. Presentation is being able to mount the gun. Being able to mount the gun and be ready to fire. Okay? So, do we agree that we need to get shit off the legs? So the days of running, I don't know, pro mask, flashbangs, all right here, or pistol down here, do we agree that you need to get that shit up? Because it allows what? Mobility? Okay. So if you're running like this, do you think you're gonna hit your gun? Huh? If you're in a low compress, right? Understand this. Look at the travel time that it takes for me to get my gun up. All right, so during the process of my career, I started toying around with different type of presentations. One presentation I do like is the ability to push the gun. So being a martial artist, I like the mechanics of functional movements, right? So I look at how my body moves, right? What is the fastest movement to get to point A to point B, and I put it into the gun. So if you agree, do we agree a jab is a fast punch, right? A jab is a fast punch, a cross is the power punch. Okay, so if this is my drive hand, it works the same movement. It works the same movement as the jab. Now yesterday in my pistol class, guys, if you remember what I said yesterday, if I'm standing here and I'm standing here, so back up. Back it up a little bit. All right, so I want you to take your drive hand, I want to put it on me, put it on me. Whatever your drive hand is. So do you see? Okay, so don't look at him. Do you see him in your peripheral vision? Now I want you to still look at me. And I want you to put your drive hand, no, don't look at him. Look at me and put your drive. So come back to me. Okay, now, still looking at me, I want you to put your drive hand on him. Now I want you to turn your head and look at your drive hand. Are you around there? Okay, if you're around there, then that's using the mechanics of a punch. That's using the mechanics of hand and eye coordination. So that's how I drive my gun. Okay, so the days of driving the gun, coming out in full presentation, looking, turning, yeah, that's slower, right? But now it's the days of moving and processing the peripheral vision. If you're able to process your blurry areas, you can react to it a lot faster. There's a sequence in how I did it, was I put little sticky tapes all through my house, right? And as I'm walking through the house, I authenticate whatever's on those stickies. I'm sitting there, I'm watching TV, but I'm actually watching my wife through the blurry areas. Through the practice of that, through time, you'll be faster in picking up the blurry areas. You'll be able to process things a lot faster. Understand, it's not just about the gun, guys. It's about the ability to react. The ability to react. The 1 inch, okay? So the 1 inch gets really tricky. The 1 inch is you're hovering over wherever it's not a target. Understand this. You're gonna put 3 rounds into each block. 3 rounds in each block. All right, so let's talk about shooting position, standing. Some of you guys are doing this, man. So I'm gonna get really aggressive on my gun. All right, I'm gonna get in a really aggressive shooting position. All right, here we go. Really aggressive. There you go. That's aggressive. This is how I'm gonna aggressively shoot my gun. That's it. So the days of doing this shit, okay? Dude, I have never shot, and I shot AKs, I have never shot where I need to get into these stupid positions, because what happens is when you get into those stupid, what you perceive as tactical, right? It stops mobility. You stop mobility in a gunfight, you die. You have to keep moving. You have to look for a better cover and concealed position. You have to go to vantage points where you can identify the enemy and hit them at those angles. Understand? So if you are stagnant in a gunfight, look at how stagnant I am. I'm weighted myself on the ground. So if I need to move, what do I have to do? I have to break, come up, and then move. If I'm already here in this position, I can still move, right? Because my hips are open. Who does CrossFit in here? Nobody? Okay. So if you're doing some kind of athletic performance, some kind of athletic movement, CrossFit's one, right? What do? We open up our hip line because we want more power. We want more mobility. We want more drive. So today when you're shooting, your hips need to be exposed. Your hips need to be exposed. Some of you guys too are standing like this. Well, that's gonna rock you back, guys. So what I like to do, a rule of thumb, is I like to draw a line on the ground. And then I'm gonna have my toes on one side and my heels on the other side. Okay? And that will give me my shooting position, my stable shooting position. The thing that my stance needs to be where I can drive the gun 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and 9 o'clock. If I can't drive my gun because I'm bladed to a 9 o'clock position, then I need to adjust my stance so I could drive my gun in this direction right here. Understand? And then I need to be able to understand how to manipulate my body off of one step, how I can turn into a 180. Nothing more than one step. Anything else gets too complex, understand? So, on a high compressed position, on the 1-inch dots, I want you to pick up the muzzle of your rifle. You understand this? So I want you to stand here, I want you to pick up the muzzle of your rifle. Okay, that's your reference point. At this time, once you identify your target past the muzzle, I want you to punch that muzzle towards that target. Think about if this is my jab hand, this is my reference point, I could punch towards you. You already identified that you could put your fingers without looking at somebody off of your peripheral. So now we're going off these same mechanics. It's very important. It's just like laying in the prone. If you guys are not getting this position right here, right, lock it down, you're not going to hit any target standing out there at range, okay? So it's about that. So on a high compress, look at my punch. Here, I'm going to punch out, and I'm already on fire. Okay, here, punch out. Look how it sits back into my shoulder pocket. I'm pulling everything back into my shoulder pocket. I'm here, reference point, punch out, into my shoulder pocket. Into my shoulder pocket. Right now, this is your speed. Until you get that movement down, all right? We understand the next drill. 3 rounds into a 1-inch block. Work 3 rounds in each block. Load and make ready. Yeah, that's it. And that's your reference point. You only hit it once. 5 rounds on target. Slow it down. Body. So as I'm standing here, very bare minimum movement. So I want to be able to bring the gun up. So if my sight to bore ratio, right, is low, what do I have to do? I have to duck my head down, right? But bare minimum movement. So being a martial artist, I like the mechanics of functional movements, right? So I look at how my body moves, right? What is the fastest movement to get to point A to point B, and I put it into the gun.